त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ये ते सहस्रमयुतं पाशामृत्योर्मर्त्याय हन्तवे तान् यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वानवयजामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा हरिः ओम. So this is Mrityunjaya mantra, the mantra to win over death. Maha Mrityunjaya mantra, so it is called, as it bestows longevity and prevents untimely death. Sometimes it is also referred to as Mrita Sanjeevini mantra because of its life restoring potential. The mantra is prescribed for healing, rejuvenation, and most importantly, liberation. The translation of the mantra goes like this: May we worship the three-eyed Lord who is fragrant and who nourishes the devotees worshipping him. Just like a ripe cucumber that slips from its binding stalk, may we slip away from the death and never separated from immortality. Rudra, or Lord Shiva, the one with three eyes, is implied as the Lord of Death here. He is referred to as the fragrant one. Just like how the fragrance of a flower can be smelled from a distance, in a similar fashion, the divine grace of the Lord too is perceived early on for a sincere devotee. Similar analogy can be given here: a river entering the sea. It can be noticed that even before the river enters the sea, the water gets a little salty. Likewise, if we make sincere efforts to move closer to God, the God Himself will come forward to receive us. That is, one needs to do only half the work. The rest is taken care by the Lord Himself. A comparison is made to ripe cucumber. Unlike most other fruits hanging onto a tree or a plant, cucumber grows as a creeper, spread around on the ground. Unlike other creepers like grapes, beans, or other gourds, it is not even tied to nets or stilts. The cucumber ripens at the ground level only. So, contrary to other fruits, which when ripened fall down due to gravity of the earth, separating themselves from the tree or plant, cucumber does not fall off. The beauty of the cucumber plant is when the fruit is ripe, the stem loosens itself and detaches the fruit without any effort from the fruit itself. The fruit stays as it is. Like the cucumber remains at the same spot on the ground, free from any bondage, so will be this enlightened one who do not go to any heavenly planets but are seen living among us. They are the Jivan Muktas. It doesn't end here. All other fruits that fall off the mother plant keep lying there till someone picks them up or eaten by animals or it gets decayed there. But this ripe cucumber, unlike other overripe fruits, explodes and disappears without a trace, without giving a chance to rotting or bad smell. In a similar fashion, when one is fully ripe, when the ego in that person just goes without a trace, jnana occurs in an instant. The transition is not gradual but sudden. It can also be interpreted that the disconnection from the plant is self realization while still in the body as Jivan Mukti. And after exhausting the Prarabdha Karma, the disappearance without a trace as Videha Mukti. So we pray to the Lord to bestow upon us such a smooth detachment from the cycle of birth and death. Only through His grace we can get out of this vicious cycle. Out of all the fears that exist, death is the most feared one. It happens to everyone. It can happen anytime and by any means. By the power of this prayer, we remove the tens of thousands of ways death entraps us. Of course, the death that is referred here is the death of the physical body. At the dawn of jnana, When one realizes the true self, the eternal Atma, the self has no death. One wins over the death itself. In other words, death is only for someone who associates or identifies oneself to the mind body complex. The moment one realizes that death indeed does not touch the real I, one is liberated. That is moksha. We hail to the Lord of Death, ends this mantra, reciting it twice to emphasize the significance of the prayer. May we also worship Lord Shiva, the Lord of Death, to embrace us with his grace and enlighten us. Sada Shivom Om Tat Sat.